everybody, welcome to Collective Fitness, and here's our ramp number 3. We had the other one for a couple months, now we're ready for this new one, so I apologize for those of you who just got used to the old one and learned it, but we gotta move on to some new stuff. So, as always, we're gonna kind of follow the same format. We're gonna start with the breathing first, kind of reset some of the internal tension that we have from not being symmetrical inside and internally, meaning they do have a higher lung on one side, liver here, heart here, and a lot of postures we have at work. They do cause internal torque. So these breathing exercises are going to not only help us relax a little bit, but at the same time help to get rid of some of those distortions and get our posture a little more level. Okay, so that's the first thing we're going to do. After that, we'll go through the foam rolling, and then we'll go through the new ramp exercises. So the first one is going to be our PRI supine hook line breathing. So when you do this, you'll actually have the 2x6 against the wall, but just from the side view, I want you guys to be able to see this. So the first one, you're going to sit down and put the bands just above your knee joint, okay? And what you want to do is have your soles of your feet, the balls of your feet, excuse me, on the 2x6, with the heels up, about an inch there. Get the butt pretty close, and then you're going to lie back. So from here, we're going to make sure we have good diaphragmatic breathing. Most people breathe, when they inhale, they breathe from the chest like this. And we want to avoid that. We want to get that diaphragm to do the work. So if you're not sure, if you're good at it, put one hand in your belly, one hand in here, and see what happens when you breathe in. It should be belly first, then chest, and neck to finish the breath off. Exhale is to reverse. So we can do this little wave breathing exercise. Breathe in through the belly, through the nose, and the chest, and exhale. So once you get that breathing down that way, then we can go with the rest. So from here, hands are going to be at your sides. Breathe in through the nose. As we do that, we're going to externally rotate the arms and the legs at the same time. So maybe 4 to 6 seconds to inhale and exhale. So it's a slow motion. So breathe in. Exhale. And we get back a little pelvic tilt. Tuck the tailbone up so it comes off the ground, and then back down. Once again, breathe in. Exhale slow. And then we'll go pelvic tilt. And then back down. So we want to make sure we do that about 8 times, nice and slow. There's no rush when we do this one, okay? So that's our first one. The second one, second part of our warm-up is going to be our self-myofascial therapy, which is going to be the rolling. Perfect. Magic. Okay, so once again, guys, we can work on our glutes. Okay, start with putting your ankle just above your knee, and maybe about a good at least 10 forward and back rolls on each glute. Okay, I like to kind of get centered, and I also like to turn onto the hip. And even before you do that, you can just do a little bit of just tailbone, the sacrum, just back and forth, just your sit bone back and forth. Once you do that, then come into your glutes. Turn onto the hip. If you find any trigger points or things that are sensitive, stop, breathe, try to let those painful points dissipate, and then continue to go, okay? So once again, maybe about at least 10 times forward and back. You can do more. You're going to find that over time you might have one side that's worse than the other, or maybe you did a hard training session and it's a little bit more sore. So feel free to spend more time on one side if you need to, okay? That's the first one. The second one, we start working on the hamstrings, which is going to be the bilateral, meaning we work at the same time. So we just go from the back of the knee to the sit bones. Nice and easy. We can do the toes in, toes out, get different parts of the hamstrings. We also can do one leg on top. Now it's deeper. Now when we do this, we're getting a deeper penetration into the tissue, which is something that we do want to do, okay? Some people might not be able to tolerate that at first, but usually pretty quickly, after about a week and a half of this, people can start going deeper. So you want to isolate each leg when you do it. Same thing for the calves, okay? You start just above the ankles on the Achilles tendon and just roll back and forth, okay? Just to the back of the knee, the top of the calves, back and forth. Then same thing. We can come and start working the calves now. Single. If you lift your butt off the ground with your hands, you're going to sink in deeper, and you have the weight of the top leg pushing in as well to the outside. And also ankle range of motion. we stay on the Achilles tendon and we just do some circles. We do 5 circles to the left, 5 circles to the right, okay? From here, we're going to now go a bit to the front of the body, all right? So we're going to start off with the quadriceps. I'm going to turn sideways. You can start with the rollers just above the kneecap, and then you're stabilizing with your core and just using your arms, pushing your elbows into the ground, your forearms to kind of pull you forward and back. Make sure your low back doesn't arch too much like this and you're doing it like that. That's not good for your low back. So keep your abs on a little bit so we're neutral when we do this. Toes in, toes out. We can roll sideways when we do this as well. Single leg as well. A little bit more pressure when we do this. We can do flexion and extension as we roll. That's a bit tough as well. We can go to the inside and outside on singles. Once we do that, we want to do the groin. So, lie down, turn this towards the midline of your body, this meaning the midline. And then we'll come down and put the roller just on the inside of the knee. We're going to close the hips and we roll in and out as we do this. Find different positions. You can maneuver it around a little bit. Find different angles that work for you. Get all the way up inside high. That's for the groin. Next one we're going to work on will be shins. Use your arms to support yourself, just to roll yourself, forward and back. Your toes will be off the ground. Sitting down on your heels is a little easier than trying to stay up like this. That's going to require more activation of your core. Not a bad thing, but to keep it simple, if you're new to this, keep your butt towards your heels. Okay? One more addition that we're going to add to this is going to be a bit of the IT band. Okay? This is very sensitive for anybody. So when you do this, if I'm on my right side, my left leg is forward. If I'm pushing through my left foot, that's going to dictate how much I sink into the foam roller. So from here, I'm just going to go back and forth. My hands as well are also dictating how much I will sink into the foam roller. It's a very sensitive area. It's on the outer part. This is where the stripe is on my pants. That's where your IT band is. Be very gentle when you start doing this at first. Good. Now we're going to do a little upper body. We're going to work on the lats. So you can get on your side. Make sure the roller is in the middle of your torso. You don't want it too low on the ribs. That's going to be uncomfortable. So the hand is going to be outstretched. You can use the bottom edge of your left foot if you're on your left side, and the sole and the foot on the right foot to kind of dig in to push you back and forth. Get up into that armpit area. Use, once again, your hand, and how much you push into the ground dictates how much I'm really pushing into that foam roller. I can roll back and stop when I'm on the armpit and come forward and back a little bit. It's okay to roll at different angles. I'm a little bit more laid back. Now I'm going to be a little bit more laid forward. They're all good. Just be careful how much you compress your ribs. Another one we can do is going to be for the back of the shoulder, okay? Sideline. Take the roller, turn it towards, once again, towards the middle. And then from here, you can just roll back and forth into the back of the shoulder area, the shoulder blade. It's not going to feel good for most people when you do this, but once again, be right at that edge where if it's not enough, it's not doing enough. If it's too painful, it's also counterproductive. Then also you can work some internal and external rotation, just like this. Breathing, you can do circles, external rotation to internal rotation, and vice versa, internal to external rotation. Take your time with this one, but this is very important to do as well. You also can get some triceps if you want as well, where now you're rolling. You can flex and extend the elbow as you do it. You can go to different parts of the tricep or the inner part. You can just stay in one position and just flex and extend. and then move it along, or you can actually do rolling. There are different techniques, so you want to utilize both techniques when you do that. So that takes care of our foam rolling. Okay, next one is called Grätzl. All right. What you're going to do is you're going to go on your side. Okay. If I'm on my left side, bring my right leg across. Okay. And then with my right hand, I'm going to grab the instep of my left foot. I want to make sure I get my thigh in line with my body, with my torso. I don't want to be in flexion like this, and I don't want to be in overextension either. I want to be in line with my spine. My left hand is going to go on the outside of my leg. I want about a 90-degree bend here. I'm not trying to hook, and I'm using the inside edge of my right foot so I don't slide down so much. So from here, the goal is to do what? Over time, through breathing, we want to get this shoulder blade down and this knee to the ground. So I'm going to readjust myself a little bit and kind of counter twist. Now I'm going to readjust, and from here, now I can start my breathing. So breathe in. As I exhale, I try to get my knee closer to the ground and my shoulder blade as well. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. About 60 seconds worth of breathing and trying to deepen that range of motion a little bit as you do that. Once again, the goal is to try to counter rotate when you do that. So 60 seconds each side. Make sure you come out slow when you're done. Next one we're going to do is the hip flexion with rotation and side bend. This is very familiar to a lot of you guys, so with a little twist to it. So what we want to do is what? Get down on one knee, okay? Make sure we have our knee over our ankle. So just like this. The knee is in line with the ankle. You don't want to be too much here or too much here. You don't want to be too wide or too much on the tightrope, okay? You want to pull the toes up on that back foot. Interlock the hands, elbows back. Now comes that pelvic tilt, a little posterior or flattening of the lumbar spine. Drop those ribs down, keep the elbows back. And when you do that, you're going to feel a stretch here right away. You know you're doing it correctly. From here, we're going to turn towards the leg that is up, which is my left leg. A little rotation, and then I'm going to side bend. Now when I do that, I'm really getting a good stretch through here. Make sure you keep that right glute tight. The glute of the down knee stays very tight, and you're going to hold up for about 30 seconds. Keep breathing. Elbows back. Exhale. You start to side bend a little more every time. Take your time with that. Once again, about 30 seconds each side. Once we're done with that, the next one's going to be our hip extension with overhead reach. So it's going to be like this. We're going to lie down, feet about shoulder width apart. Okay? We're going to work the hip extension, but with rotation and a reach. So as I drive my hips up, I'm going to reach over my head, roll into my left shoulder, and then come back down. I drive up and I reach. Get some rotation, back down. Drive up and reach. And once more, drive up and reach. And I'm looking to where my hand goes. I follow my hand with my eyes. Okay, about 8 per side for that. Next one, the prone scorpion. This is great for mid and back. So you're gonna get down, keep the chin tucked, arms are wide. If you have a towel, you can put your hand down. If not, you can just keep that chin tucked and keep your head off the ground. So the goal here is to make sure we bend the leg, we get some glute activation, low back and hamstring by extending the heel up. Then twisting over. Back down to the other side. Up and come over. Now you're going to see the shoulders are going to come off the ground, a little bit the chest. Try to limit that to an extent. Stretch those arms out and reach there. And when you do it, try to keep it down a bit. One side you might find is better than the other. Like for me, I have some restrictions going to my left, to my right. There we go. You just want to avoid this. Do the best you can. Keep it down a bit. You might not be able to go as high with the leg, but that's okay. Over time, you can bring the heel more towards the hand. Keep that chin tucked. Correct myself. Good. Take your time with that as well. Throwing scorpion. About 80 side. Next one we're going to do is the multiplanar hip mobility complex. Level 1 is just sitting down, feet wider than shoulder width, chest is up, you're on your hands. And from here, just let the legs fall to one side and fall to the other side. Some of you might be able to go all the way down without the butt lifting off the ground. I can't, so I'm only going to go about till there. And I'm feeling a good stretch when I do it. So this is level 1. Rotate windshield wipers side to side. Maybe 6 to 8 times each way just to kind of get yourself warmed up. The second position is on the same thing, but now you're forward and there's no hands. So now you turn to one side, chest up, and then you turn to the other side. Chest up, again, rotate, rotate. You might have one side that's much harder to balance than the other. So that's your next progression. The last progression, okay, is to step over. So we go to one side. Position myself so you guys can see me. I turn to one side, I'll reach over. If I need to use my hand, I can to press up and come onto my left foot. Now from here, keep my chest close, and I want to get into a squat position. Step back, turn the foot in, and roll back down to the starting position. Okay? So reach over, without the hands, come up, stay low, turn it in, back down. Now this one is not very easy, so you might, for the first week or so, just do level 1 and 2, and then work into this. To step over, I like to do one side only about 3 or 4 times, then we can switch. Okay? So that is our multiplanar hip mobility complex. The next one is going to be called a band dislocates. So we need some bands. Make sure when you grab it, the loops are kind of equal. Here I have one, and my left hand is bigger than that, bigger than my right. If I do it like this, when I do my stretch, it's going to be asymmetrical stretch. So try to be even. That's pretty good. The key to this is keeping your knees bent, always athletic. Keep the elbow straight and the band with tension in the middle. So from here, I start to bring my arms overhead. And right around here, you're going to keep that band tight. That's where the stretch, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it all the way to about there, all the way down. Back up, keep those elbows locked. And you come back over. Once again, reach overhead. Stretch that band apart, pull it apart as you go back. Do that tight range. And then back up. And over again. Good. And that's going to be our overhead band dislocates. About 8 times each way. So that's going to be good for that. Next one, we want to do a goblet squat with prime. Get a light kettlebell or dumbbell. This is a 10-pound. We're going to hold it like so. Feet about shoulder width or a little wider. We want to try to make sure the feet can stay straight for this one. Why? We want to kind of mobilize in a position of restriction. That's the purpose. When we actually exercise, maybe we'll be a little wider. That's fine. But for this, we want to try to keep our toes kind of straight ahead. Key is chest up. Make sure the heels stay flat. Only go as low as you can go when those heels are staying down. So from here, we go into that bottom of that goblet squat, and I use my elbows to pry my knees open. Once I got a good stretch, I squeeze my knees into my elbows for a few seconds. As soon as I relax, drop the butt, chest up, and then I'm going to kind of rotate side to side. Same thing again. I pry it open a little more. I squeeze, drop the butt, chest up, and I kind of go side to side again. One more time. Squeeze, butt down, chest up, side to side. So this is a mobility exercise, okay? That is, once again, goblet squat with prime, side to side. Next one is a lunge matrix, okay? This is not like typical lunging you see with exercise. It would be a shorter distance when you step. And we're really trying to get a lot of different rotation when we're in the hips. That's what this one is really about. This is a lot of the Great Institute work, which is fantastic. So from here, we do an anterior, and then we come back. An anterior lunge. Good. Now, posterior lunge, we step back, always very soft, okay? Now we're gonna go sideways. Now opposite sideways, we pick the foot up, we turn the hips, we step across. It's okay if the inside edge comes off. We just want to watch out how much we spin out, because we lose that internal rotation of that hip. Bend those legs, come back. Step across, little knee bend. We're here. Next one from here, we're doing reverse rotation. So reverse is behind us with rotation. Reverse rotation. Now front rotation. So it's like we're going to step forward, but we step across. Keeping that foot down. We're stepping forward, stepping across. So one more time. Hopefully I can stay in camera for you guys. Anterior, anterior. Posterior, posterior. Sideways, sideways. Opposite sideways, opposite sideways. Reverse rotation, reverse rotation. And then we have front rotation, front rotation. All right, that's our lunge matrix. Shirt ripping, pretty simple. Shoulders square, bend the knees a little bit, diagonal. My arms are like an X pattern right now, just like this. So from here, bring arms together, and we're ripping a shirt. Then we rotate and go the other direction. Top hand is facing down, bottom hand is facing up. Rip the shirt, rotate it, and then go the other direction. Body can stay pretty stable. You don't have to have a lot of movement here, just from the arms. Shirt ripping. Do that about 8 each way. Next one is side skipping. This is a challenging one for people. Start by marching, opposite arm, opposite leg, getting those thighs high, and then just going sideways, okay? That's the key with this. So when you actually introduce skipping, you know, if you're coming this way, you're gonna drive through and hop. That's your sideways skipping as you do it. Drive through the leg, shoulders stay square, hips stay square, and we're gonna go one length each direction, okay? And the last one is your dragon walk. Pretty challenging to do, but here we go. When you get down, in all fours position, we've done crawling, opposite arm, opposite leg. Same concept here, but a little bit different. So if I go forward with my right hand, my left leg comes forward, but I open out to the side. I'll have the inside of my foot touching the ground, elbows tucked, elbow down, and come up, and then we switch. Left hand forward, right leg is there, elbows tucked, and then we go forward again. That's the hard progression, okay? Where there's not a lot of, my chest is just barely touching the ground. Initially, you can work on it by going all the way down. Same concept, I step forward, I'm here, elbows are tucked, my hands are staggered. I can go all the way down, press up on the knees, come up, center the foot, switch the hands, switch the legs, elbows tucked, all the way down, drive up, same concept again, all the way down, back up and switch. So that's one length. First couple weeks, half length is gonna be good. Very challenging, but once you finish that warm-up, guys, you're ready to roll for your workout. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. Once again, go to www.collective-fitness.com and check us out. Take care.